It's just a way of life, Conrad.
I think we're good.
We're not. We're not. We are. Are we? We're not. We're good. I see it. I see the levels. They're pumping.
Okay.
You're quiet, but you know, we're
There
good.
we go.
We're vibing.
Are we figuring it out now?
Chat. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening, and welcome to the GMAE show. Today is July 21st, 2022, 8:06 p.m. our local time, but it may be July 22nd, 2022, where you are. If you're joining us from the Asia Pacific region, good morning. If you're joining us in India, good morning. If you're joining us in Russia, good morning. If you're joining us in Iran, good morning. If you're joining us in Israel, good morning. If you're joining us from South Africa, good morning. If you're joining us from the Gold Coast, good morning. I could go on. If you're joining us in Portugal right now, good morning. How are you? It is evening in all of South and North America right now. Chat, how are you? How are you doing today? We have a big day planned today. 5 days a week on this show, the Good Morning, Afternoon, Evening show. We play the games that you created inside the Sandbox Game Maker. Maybe you submitted them for a game jam. Maybe you're making it for publishing on your land in the metaverse or for any other purpose. We will give you feedback on your games live here on this show to help you make a higher quality product. That's our goal for you. And here live on this show starting at 3 a.m. UTC every day, we also give away an NFT. This Wizzy the Green Lucky Hat NFT we'll be giving away today is one of about 20 that are left. And when they are gone for good. These assets are a thank you from us to you in the community. And when they go away, we will make a new NFT to give away just for you here on this show. Highly popular. They can be used inside any combat-based experience inside the Sandbox Game Metaverse or in the Sandbox Game Maker gallery. You can also put these NFTs in your experience if you are a creator after you've won them so that other users can use your NFT. Woo! Chat, we got a big one today. There's
a lot going on.
A new trailer came out with relation to Alpha Season 3 that is just around the corner. And a big singular topic that everyone's pulling out of this. So I want to highlight all of the details that are in this trailer. First, we'll watch it raw. Then we'll watch it frame by frame to talk about what is going on. And then we can answer your questions live. If you have a question and you would like that question answered live, please ask it in the comments here. We will answer any and all questions that we can answer here live. And for those questions that we cannot answer, we can help you over on Discord, Telegram, Twitter, or any of our other great platforms that you can find in the description below. But let's watch that trailer. And then we'll get your answers as much as we can give. There are going to be some good questions here. And let's check it out. Loving the music on this one.
Pipe.
Oh, that looks good. That looks real good right there.
Ooh. My head was in the way.
I'm very excited.
Were
you in the way? Were you in the way?
Oh,
we're gonna see it again.
Here.
We're gonna see it again. All right, chat. That 47-second trailer has a lot going on in it. So I'm going to play it up until the point where I can get a little freeze frame. And let's talk about what's familiar and what's different between Alpha Season 2 and Alpha Season 3. Because, oh my goodness, there are some great rewards going out there to, like I said, to reward. Right, first, one caveat that I would like to leave before we go over the details of this trailer. Some of you may have already picked it apart, but we talk about Alpha Season 2, the trailer launched, and because plans aren't finalized and set in stone, because plans aren't set out there in a medium.com article, I would caution not necessarily looking at these numbers that you see on here as finalized, but the ideas, the concepts, really cool, and cool new stuff coming down. First, the alpha season rewards progress works essentially the same, but I'm noticing something right at the top that we were talking about previously. EP. It doesn't say XP, right? It's not an experience point, or, you know, it may be experience point, but we have had terminologies for use in the Sandbox game that I've talked about with you in the community. For some reason, I can't think of the word off the top of my head, Conrad. I don't know if you can remember it off the top of your head, but I talked about a type of experience point. Ethos.
Ethos point?
Thank you. Yes. It hit my brain at the same time chat was like, ethos points, right? So we may be seeing that translate here already, ethos points. And ethos points are interesting because they are a part of the process towards possibly faction interaction, and then also possibly an ambassador could possibly reward an ethos point to a user that is being a good community member, right? Or a moderator or a staff member, something like that. I'm not sure that's going to be the case here, but it's nice to see that this is coming in. Oh no, Facebook is working again. And in direct correlation, we have to block a user on Facebook already. If you're watching us over on Facebook.com, please do not fall for these sorts of things. We're never going to ask you to give us sand. We have staking mechanisms that are on the website. If you're interested in getting sand rewards, you can go sandbox.game only, but do not ever send sand to addresses or any kinds of requests like that. That is a fake The Sandbox account, and we're going to have to go have Facebook get that banned. I'll get back to it. So we've got Ethos points starting to register here, right? You got a time countdown on the top for the raffle, similar to the last season. The raffle for the passes will be at the end of the season, and then different pass distributions may be elsewhere. But you can also see right up here is creeping along at the top a total number of Ethos points. All right. As I move to the side here, you're getting a number of raffle tickets as you're completing the certain levels. All right. You're also seeing these check marks come in on the bottom. In the trailer here, this is assuming that a person already had the season pass. Then they're getting these certain rewards. Okay. And then it says, if you win an alpha pass, get an alpha pass to unlock these rewards. There is something that suggests there is a community booster on here, right? And in the previous season, we had a community booster for staking rewards. So I'm not sure of the levels on this. The previous community booster appeared to have a 100%, or it was confirmed rather to have you could double the amount. Now, I don't believe that is the case here in this season, but again, we're going to wait for the Medium article to confirm that. However, it's interesting to see that that is still in the UI, right? That implies that there may be a boost for staking your sand tokens during this alpha, right? But community booster does not apply to guaranteed rewards. I'm seeing that question come in. This applies to the rewards that a person gets in the alpha pass. Guaranteed rewards are their own pool of rewards. So let's go down to that. Okay, you're seeing some figures, but I want to focus on the interesting bits here. First,
you mean the stuff here on the left? What's going on?
Yeah, the stuff here on the left, exactly, Conrad. So you got landowners, and we saw this in the tweet, and we've seen it in an article, that landowners would have an M-Sand reward. We don't call it M-Sand anymore, but I'm seeing that they're purple and old school. Sand on the Polygon network rewards, right? So those rewards, landowners here, are seeing certain check marks, but it appears like those check marks are also operating in the same way as the pass experience, right? You still would need to play and earn those, but you get certain guarantees for owning a land, certain guarantees for owning an avatar from the avatar collection, and certain guarantees for being an NFT collector. And you'll notice that the NFT collector assets there they appear to be just generic assets. You've got a boat, right? you've got a throne, and you've got a Snoop Dogg asset, we'll say. And that has its own separate pool. So there are different pools for each of those. And interestingly, it doesn't appear, and again, I can't confirm the numbers, but speculate a little bit. It doesn't appear like the total pool between land owners, avatar owners, and NFT owners adds up to being the 500 that you saw was the staking reward potential from last season, right? So if that is the case, then it supports the idea that there may be a staking reward again in this season. But it's not confirmed, so keep that in mind. All of the stuff that we talk about here, until it is confirmed on a Medium article, it is speculation, right? Because these things are subject to change at any time. This is a hype trailer, but we want to go through it with you. All right. And we've got increase your chances to win during weekly timed events. So these weekly timed events are coming back. These are, Twitter contests, things like that, that increase your raffles or that you have a drawing based off of these contests, right? You're getting tickets during these timed events just like you got in the last season. All right. And then this is huge. Let's look at this on the right. On the left, it's important. It's super cool. You're seeing Juan is the best gamer in the world. They got 57 Ethos points on this leaderboard. Best gamer. They estimated completion time for getting those Ethos points, right? And then they've got prizes. Rank 1. Now, again, these numbers are subject to change, but this is interesting. Rank 1 suggests at this time 30,000 sand tokens. Rank 2 through 10 all being awarded 5,000 sand tokens. And you'll notice that this is not the same on the leaderboard on the left. So again, I want to highlight that this is speculative, but it's interesting to see the difference in the pool, right? It's similar to how we do a game jam, except this is the play to earn mechanics in a competitive nature that is more of a guarantee, right? So if you don't have a pass, this is a separate thing. This is a play to earn mechanic. So in the leaderboard, if you get in the top 5,000 on this estimate here, then you're getting 60 M sand tokens, which is great, 750 if you're in the top 1,000. And then if you're getting in the top 200, the top 10, and then obviously number 1, these rewards escalate quickly, right? So you're going to see, I think, a lot of people being highly motivated, right? Especially folks that, right now a sand token is like $1.50 or somewhere thereabouts, $1.40 right now, right? So that 30,000 sand tokens is quite a lot of money when you look at that. I mean, if you're going to pull in $40,000 or $50,000 getting first place, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be competing to do that, right? And those people, you're going to have a lot of fun while you're doing it. So let's go. Also, want to come back to this here in a second because I want to talk about the reason why there's a significant advantage to the next section, because this is the hot topic. This is what a lot of people are talking about. Okay, first place gets 30,000 sand here. That is what, if that is the case, let's look at the other numbers going forward. And in this section, this is the hot topic. This is the one everybody wants to talk about right now, which is confirming your identity for a safe and fair environment. So that means KYC, know your consumer methods, will be coming to the Sandbox Game 4 Alpha Season 3. Now, if we go back, you can see the obvious advantage to doing that. In Alpha Season 2, we did have and had to ban some bots, right? You wouldn't want to have bots come in, play your games, get new high score completion times, right? And then you're like, oh, well, yeah, I lost all my award. With KYC, we don't have to worry about that. There's not going to be any bots to play. So, great for the gamers. And we've got that with these huge rewards, right? On top of it, you've got rewards that are guaranteed. You've got rewards that are incentivizing people who are like super high skill play, right? You've got rewards that are on the raffle, right? So this is all the way up and down the spectrum, a really good program for the community because it rewards all types of gamers. The people who just want to enter the social contest and they don't want to play too much Well, they can get their 100 EP, they can enter their social contests, they can do that. The people who just own the assets and they don't want to worry about the raffles, the social contests, all of that sort of stuff, they've got their guarantee because they own land or they own avatars or they own assets, right? And then you've got the third category of people who are high-level players and they want to go be a competitive gamer, right? They're going to be able to win in their own different respects. So it appeals to all types of people in the market. And we know that all of those people are people because they will be KYC protected. Now, Conrad.
Oh, yeah, Joseph.
All the questions are coming in over on youtube.com, twitch.tv, and possibly Facebook. I'm going to ask for you to give me some of those questions. Let's see what's going on here. All right.
We got this trailer playing behind us here and a lot of concerns.
I'm going to have the trailer play on repeat, but I'm going to turn the music off for this so we can.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so, I mean, just getting these easy ones out of the way here as we got George over on YouTube asking, I didn't win an Alpha Pass 2, so what are the chances of getting an Alpha 3? What are we doing here?
Well, the chances are roughly the same for your odds on this because there are currently over 2 million registered users to the website at sandbox.game. However, I would say they may be better now because you will probably have some users that don't want to verify with KYC, right? And so if you are among the users who are verified, then, you know, you're going to have a good chance there. Knowing that you don't have to KYC if you just want to play, you just want to have fun in the space, that's all good. But those people who want to play to earn will have to, right? And with that in mind, there are going to be quite a few people who maybe don't even do the raffle if they are concerned about that. But I think on the whole, you're going to have also more people registering during the alpha because the rewards are so spread in the way that they are, right? So I think ultimately it's going to be about the same odds. But still, you know, if you're watching the show like this, we're also going to be giving away the passes live on the show from my understanding. I still have to double check that before I can confirm it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do that. And in the last season, up until like the last week, we were able to give away one per show. So we'll probably be doing that as well. And then Rolly Serbu saying they're unlucky. Hey, you know what? It never hurts to try. And in reality, there are guaranteed ways to earn now. Like I said, it's not just, you don't have to have that alpha pass in order to play to earn. You can be one of those people who is a high-level gamer. You get one of those top 5,000 places, you're earning sand. If you're somebody who has some assets already, you've got some of the avatar projects that have come out, like the Steve Aoki one that's coming out in a couple of days. If you had an Aoki and you come through and you do that season pass, you know, you're getting the levels and you have one of the avatars. So you're going to get the reward there. So there's all sorts of different stuff. Candidly, Kristen,
right.
You cannot hold me to that yet. As I mentioned, I haven't confirmed it, so I'm gonna confirm it first, and then you can hold me to it. As soon as I say we're definitely doing it, then we're definitely doing it. But last month it was, last alpha, for me it was literally just me going, I want to do this, and they're like, all right, cool, you know. So hopefully it'll be just as easy as that. Yeah. All right. So.
Okay, we got plenty more questions. Don't worry. I'm just making sure that I'm getting them down. So we don't lose track of anybody.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay. Here we go. Marco over on YouTube wants to know when will KYC be applied during the season or when claiming the reward? Is my concern because I did KYC for other deed, but it took some time to complete.
Yeah. So the reward distribution won't be until after the alpha, like on the last day, right? In the meantime, you're still earning, right? You're getting the levels during the duration of the alpha. So I would imagine, and I can't confirm this just yet, but I'm going to speculate a little bit here because until we make an announcement, I can't confirm anything, but I would imagine that KYC will open at the start of the alpha, and you'll have lots of time because it is a 10-week alpha program. And at the end of the alpha, you'll already know what your rewards are and you should be able to claim them. I also was there for the Other Side land sale. I also KYC'd for that using a service called Block Pass, which was relatively smooth, but I noticed that some people had to try once or twice. Sometimes if they had just used local ID and they don't have a passport, because local IDs vary all over the world. But however, they do allow you to, like, let's say if you had a scanner or you had to take a picture of it, then you can do those things. And they understand that there will be like that little like shine or whatever saying like where you're from, that sort of thing on it. Like mine says Washington because I'm from that state of the U.S., right? So it'll have that like rainbow effect, that holographic whatever on it when you do a picture or a scan. So they understand that. And I saw that question come up on Twitter as well. So anyway,
Right.
all right,
We're gonna get a lot of
those questions.
a lot of common questions like those ones.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's like, oh, maybe I should finally go get my passport. But I went ahead and did the one for the other side through Animoca and whatnot, and they let me use my local ID, which was just fine. So
Yeah.
right now, it's kind of up in the air. But regardless, as we continue on with these questions, and don't worry, guys, if we don't have the answers for you today, keep these questions in your pocket as more information is rolled out on some of this stuff. So Dylan over on YouTube wants to know,
Okay.
this is my first season playing, but how do we get an alpha pass? How
Okay.
exactly is that done? We've had some
Sure.
of these questions show up before,
So
but what's going to happen?
go through right here on this section of the trailer. Complete quest 2 level up. And excuse me. And you'll see it has a level and a thing called EP, Ethos points, right? And you're earning these Ethos points as you complete quests inside the Sandbox game. So all week long, every week, during the 10 weeks, new levels are going to open up, and those levels will have quests. Some of them will be easier than others, but you will earn Ethos points as you're completing the quests. And you'll see, similar to how games do like a battle pass or something like that, the experience bar is filling up here. And you'll also see the experience bar in the game, sort of, where it'll say like you have this many quests done, and you're level 3 or something, right? And you're getting into level 4. So on the way up through level to level, you're earning these raffle tickets, and there are other ways to earn raffle tickets as well. But if you want the alpha pass itself, which allows you to earn the cryptocurrency sand tokens, then you need to get those levels to get yourself the tickets, and then you'll see another tab on the website that shows you how many tickets you have for various reasons, various awards and that sort of thing. So getting those tickets gets you the chance, and then we random roll. So let's say I'm ticket number 1000 through 1010. You're 1011 through 1020. If that's the case, and they roll 1017, you win, I don't. And that's how that works, right? So there's a lot of that. But yeah, hopefully that helps. And if you have more questions about it, I'm going to try to address it. But I'm seeing a ton of questions come through chat, so I'm going to keep that one a little short.
Oh, yeah. They're still flowing through. I got 3 pages. All right. All right. And Jco06 over on Twitch wants to know, is KYC required for guaranteed rewards?
KYC is required for all rewards at this time. That is my understanding. However, I'm going to double check with regards to people who maybe just own the avatar and they don't. But if I'm going to guess, in terms of the way that a UI works on the website, the claim button is going to be the same for both. So I'm going to guess that KYC is required for both. But I will ask that question in our through the CTO to see if that is the case. I'm pretty sure that it is, but I'm going to double check. And
Okay.
if you want to reach out to me with that one on Twitter, specifically at TheVisionEx, then I will answer in a thread there if you like.
I'll have another series of these questions that we get to come back to off on a different tab. So don't worry about that one, Joseph.
Thank
I
you.
got you. And then DJ wants to know, does that mean that the Belonging Week crown will also give Sand rewards? We're talking about the memorabilia that was just released.
A memorabilia is not an asset, so it would need to be an asset, meaning that if it is an object that you own, that you bought in the marketplace, or one that you got on OpenSea with the verified blue check mark under the Sandbox assets, it should be eligible for that very last category.
Not the memorabilia, they say. The crown is an asset, a directly Asset
Yeah,
itself,
okay. Yeah, so as long as it's not a memorabilia, yeah.
You should be good then.
Require for playing.
And then Vici wants to know, I have won a green hat in the past. Do I need to do something else to receive it? I'm not rushing. I just want to be sure.
No, actually, just Alex Florez got back from vacation today. So usually Alex likes to distribute those on the weekend, like on a Sunday when the gas prices are a little bit down, because they go directly from their wallet to you. And again, it's a pretty high total sum when you think about like sending out 50 of these or what have you in a couple of weeks.
Right, right. Dr. Metaverso wants to know, can you give out some examples of the NFTs that we should be holding for these rewards?
An asset. That is, I mean, it's like if you got a season 1 or season 2 pass, and you don't have to go out and buy those specifically. If you have a little bat, as long as you can find it on OpenSea or on the marketplace, any asset that is an asset and not an avatar would qualify as an asset. Any avatar which is not an asset would qualify as an avatar. The distinction between those two things is an avatar is the thing that can replace your character, and you'll see it on the website at sandbox.game. And then the assets are the things that you can use inside the game maker to make an experience. So you can see,
right.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to that part in the trailer right here. You can see the objects that they show in the example here are pretty simple. It's a throne that, was on the marketplace at some point. It's a ship that was on the marketplace at some point, and it is a Snoop Dogg asset that was available to those people who were holding Snoop Dogg avatars at some point. They got that as an airdrop, right? So there are various ways that you could get it. But if you've ever won a lucky hat here, or you've won a Wizzy at some point and it's still in your account, that's eligible. Anything that has the Sandbox assets listed as its, creator with a blue check mark on it on OpenSea will have that.
Right, and just to add on to that, as we got a number of questions on this one, does the number of avatars or the number of NFTs increase your chances? So if I have my 4 people of crypto avatars, do I get more, or do I have my many Sandbox assets? Do I get anything for that, or do I get any bonuses for legendaries?
There won't be bonuses for rarities. There won't be bonuses based on the quantity that you have. And the reason why that is because if that were the case, then we would have to have a much larger pool of award that could go out in general. And that ultimately is bad for the ecosystem. You want to make sure, I've said this in a lot of different shows recently, but you want to make sure you have sound tokenomics, right? So that meaning we have a defined pool of total rewards that we want to be on any given season. And then we can decide what we want to do with that pool. So these 3 different programs that you're seeing here in this trailer still have that same one defined pool, right? I noted that the landowners, the avatar owners, and the asset owners' total numbers here on the right side didn't add up to 500, right? In my mind, because I was thinking about the previous season where we had 500 sand that was rewarded. And in season 2, we also did an additional 500 sand that could be earned from the community booster, right? Well, that not being 500 for those programs, then we move on to the other side. The pool right here for the leaderboards ranking, these rewards add up to another portion of that total, right? So when you think about those rewards, they have to maintain that pool, because otherwise you give away so many tokens and there's not a demand that meets those new supply, right? And then the individual value of your token goes down. So in order to make sure everybody who has invested in the Sandbox game, who is earning in the Sandbox game, gets a consistent value reward, we want to make sure we have a consistent pool. All right.
Right, and I'm going to go ahead and skip to this one, and this is one that we were definitely going to have to touch on no matter what. We got our friend our Wheels over inside of the Twitch chat, and of course Vici over on YouTube. Real concern about this.
Okay.
Says a user from another country can easily pass KYC, and what about children playing at the Sandbox and their verification? And then of course we want to know about For instance, BlockPass trying to reject IDs of many of these countries due to making a photo too good, or after rejection, it takes a long time for their tickets to come through. What do we plan to do for these 10 weeks about KYC? Like, what
Sure.
exactly can we do here? There was a kind of a loaded one for you.
Okay, so the first thing that I would say is that we have not confirmed nor denied yet the vendor that we will be using for KYC. So I mentioned BlockPass because it's something that's relatable, something that people have used. But they may not actually be the company that we use. I'm not certain on that at this time. However, I want to make it super clear that we, as the Sandbox game, have no intention to discriminate and or choose which countries of people can or cannot play, right? So if you're from Uganda, right, you have the same ability to play the Sandbox game as somebody from Paris, France. That's just the way that we are going to operate. So there should be no concerns with anywhere you are in the world. As long as you have valid ID, then you can get in. Now, in terms of children, children are not eligible to play and earn in the Sandbox game. You can see in our terms of service right away within the first paragraph, it says you must be 18 years or older to play and earn in the Sandbox game. Now, that said, obviously, some kids will play, but play to earn is and can be construed by some countries around the world as child labor. So, with that being the case, it violates our terms of service. Now, if you are a whole adult and you are the child of someone that you're an adult, right? You have identification of some sort. You have a place of residence, so it should be pretty straightforward. You'll be able to sign up. The process will go through. If you have troubles, of course, because local IDs vary so much. Sometimes, like I said before, you do have to re-verify sometimes, like send it in and be like, hey, this was me, but whatever, the shininess, the camera angle, sometimes, they kind of get picky every once in a while. But realistically, it was something that took those people who were submitting for other sides specifically, which is the only large case where people, had issues in the recent past. Those people had their issues resolved usually within 1 to 2 weeks, which is a big lead time, but you're talking about a 10-week alpha. So there's lots of wiggle room there, lots of opportunity for you to take care of that properly. All right.
Right. And of course, the next couple questions are going to be about whom we're going to be using. Is it BlockPass? Where are we going as far as verified accounts?
Mm-hmm.
And we've kind of touched on a lot of these here. And of course, GSS saying, can I get parent verified accounts for my kids, pretty please?
Not
we
yet.
hear your concerns. We hear them.
Not yet.
A big thing is local governments on a lot of these things, and where you guys are located means a lot.
Yeah.
So KYC is going to clear up a lot of bots, but we're still trying to be within the law. Alrighty. And Marco wants to know, when will KYC start exactly? We've kind of touched a little bit about this one. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have an official date on when KYC is, but once again, it shouldn't be. I project that you will be able to start to apply at the beginning of the alpha. That's not guaranteed. It could be any period between the start of the alpha and the end of the alpha, because the only time when it's really necessary is at the very end. Because if a person can't verify KYC, then they can't earn reward, which means that there are more rewards to claim for real people. And so, yeah, good for regular people like yourselves, us, all together, being able to earn.
Right. And of course, Michael Moe wants to know about what info a KYC would require. So, are we going for
I can give you that.
Just your ID, or
what's
going on there?
Yeah, so when you do a KYC, there's usually 3 documents that you need to upload. One is a local ID. I use my passport because that's so universal and ubiquitous, right? Not everybody has one, I understand that, but I use it because I do have it, and it's more convenient to give them something that looks all the same, right? But you use your local ID, and then you support that local ID, usually with a photo of yourself. And like the app, if you were using BlockPass specifically, I'm not sure that that's going to be the case, but I'm using BlockPass because that's the one I've used the most. It's like, okay, take a selfie, and it puts a little circle in your phone, right? And you just hold it up and get that circle in your face. And it's like, okay, that's a selfie. And then you have to upload one supporting document that verifies that this is you and that is your address. So what I used was a bank statement because that was easy for me. I just had it, right? You might have an electricity bill or any kind of paper document. I didn't even need to use paper, quite frankly. I had a PDF from the internet where, again, my bank statement, I just downloaded the PDF and uploaded that. So it was really clean. It wasn't messy. It wasn't crinkled, wrinkled, dirty, whatever, right? And I got approved instantly. It took very little time. So the easiest, smoothest path is to have a passport and download a bill or document that proves you are where you are.
Okay. So, I mean, even that right there could change as we don't know who
right,
we're
exactly.
Using, right?
Right. But
that's
usually,
an example of how BlockPass was done, right?
That's right. And usually it is going to be a supporting document of some kind, but not necessarily. Now, Pila Rabol over on YouTube mentioning, what if you don't have that? You're not a miner, but not a service in your name. Right. So if that is the case, then you know now. And so if you don't have a service in your name, usually signing up for a bank account is free. Maybe, I don't know if it's the case where you live, but for us, there's no requirements for that. So if you do that, then you would have a service in your name. And because you're going to have potentially an earned income as a result of playing, maybe you would want that. If you don't want that, then I understand. But that's a choice that you're going to be making. And so, there's not much I could do with regards to that.
Right. And we feel your pain there, Vici. Definitely looking at, a lot of user feedback and, of course, with the choice on these things as well, your guys' input is very important. And yeah, I mean,
that's interesting actually, because
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, okay. So the comment Vici is making here live saying, I use the same documents for two different KYCs with BlockPass for two different Animoca projects. One was accepted instantly and the other was rejected after 2 weeks. So the interesting thing about that is it's my understanding from BlockPass, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not an expert in their category or whatnot, but you shouldn't have had to upload documents twice at all. You should have just been able to say, I already have my stuff here with you, and I'm verifying for this other project once the first one had been accepted. So maybe your second one was rejected because your first one was accepted, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's, like I said, it's going to be your decision, right? Pella, as you can, any method that you can find or have to verify your existence that's all. So if you choose not to do that, that's your choice. You have the freedom to choose not to. Up to you. All right. Next question here, Conrad.
Okay. Yeah, all right. And that does come down to, we're going to go with something relevant here as well. A's does want to know, are there countries that are not eligible?
There are no countries that are ineligible. Hopefully I put it clearly there. All countries are accepted. There is no restrictions from my understanding. Once again, this is not a first-party service. This is not the Sandbox game service doing the KYC. So you want to check the terms and conditions of any outlet. However, there is no reason why an outlet would reject an individual, right? I've never seen anything in the terms of service that says you can't be here because you live in the U.S., with the exception to if the United States has a law that says you can't be there. My computer screen turned off. Look at that. No, but so you'll have an opportunity to join.
Of course. And PG Live wants to know, so this right here behind us means that we can have leaderboards in our games in the future?
That leaderboard is for the Ethos points system. So if you, theoretically, the API would allow that. However, this is for Ethos points specifically. What you see at the top there, the level, which is an account level, not a experience level restriction, right? And I want to address this point by Mr. Roboto because it's not a question, but I do want to hit on it.
By all means.
They say KYC is all fine and dandy until the database gets hacked and all your info gets into the hands of scammers. Okay, to address this, once again, I'm going to defer to BlockPass as they have done this correct. they, on their service, do not store your personal information at all. Once your information gets scanned, you get issued a unique serial number that goes into their hash of their database that says your information was accurate and real. And then they delete your information forever. Yes, they don't save anything anywhere. They don't save it, sell it, trade it, buy it, fix it, move it, break it. You know what I mean? Technologic. No, they but you know, it's a lot of people have that misunderstanding that those services are storing your data, but in reality they're not. They're like Conrad said, they're giving you a check mark and then they're moving on with their lives, right? You're in their system. They're funded not by selling data, but by Animoca Brands, the company, the parent company, right? And by services like the Sandbox game that will pay for BlockPass's service, not the data. So you're good. It's safe. Very safe.
Right. And Aline over on YouTube wants to know whether or not the guaranteed rewards for Alpha Pass holders. So I'm going to go ahead and bunch this in with a few other questions as well. So if we have the Season 3 pass, where guaranteed rewards no matter what, right? And then, of course, that'll go on to, what about Season 1 and 2?
Okay. So, Season 3 pass holders, you can see on this part of the video, it shows if you have a Season 3 pass and you're getting the Ethos points, you're leveling up, right? You're getting just like in the last season, you're getting the Sand tokens if you win the Season 3 pass. If you don't have the Season 3 pass and you're still holding a Season 1 or 2 pass, then let's go to the next section as it's scrolling through here. Let's fill it up. The Season 1 and 2 pass counts as NFT collector items because they are an NFT. They are part of the Sandbox game collection, right? When you go into OpenSea and you look at the Sandbox assets with the blue check mark, you're getting that. So this, just holding those passes from previous seasons, guarantees you this bottom reward pool here. If you're an avatar owner, you're getting the middle reward pool. If you're a landowner, you're getting the top reward pool. And then you don't need any of that to get on the high scores list, right? The high scores list section right here that has these prizes, 30,000 sand for the top prize. Those rewards, you don't need any assets to be able to claim. You just need to get yourself Ethos points. And you need to get it within the best possible completion time to get first place. That's what, if there was a tie on Ethos points, right? So that's the 3 different ways. And it's great because it rewards everybody on every level, regardless of your previous participation, but also rewards additional for people who've been here previous seasons. It's a really nice compromise.
Right.
David Good asking, are Wizzy-related NFTs considered for NFT collector? Yes, they are part of the Sandbox Assets collection on OpenSea.
Okay. So what about the Season 1 and 2 pass holder?
That is part of the assets from the collection on OpenSea, the Sandbox assets. If you go back and you look at your own...
Technically, we are still getting tickets just for holding it?
Not tickets. Sand.
Oh. Okay. So they don't increase our chances of getting a Season 3 pass.
That hasn't been confirmed or denied as of yet, because we haven't seen the rewards page.
That's what we need to get to.
Hashtag make Conrad ambassador. All right.
Truth. But anyways, we do have lots of questions to roll through. Vici, if you end up running into trouble with BlockPass, if that's the thing that we happen to use, then come on to live streams like these ones, and we'll try and help you get it sorted, my friend.
Yeah.
Because we want everybody that wants to be a part of. We want to figure it out.
Yes.
Alrighty, and that should be a thing. Says, how does KYC work for company-owned accounts?
A company-owned account still has an owner, an individual, right? The company tends to have some kind of ladder system for its ownership, and there is a CEO. It would be their account to use, assuming that they want a KYC on that account and not their own personal account. Yeah, so you could, but you can only KYC on the one account. So, make your choice, whatever you like.
Figure it out. Well, I imagine that because we want to branch out and make it so there are more than one attached account for a Sandbox address, that something like this will be implemented to make it so you can do this for company accounts as well. I imagine these things are being worked on in the background. Am I wrong? Not
Half of what you
specifically,
said, half of what you said is being worked on in the background. The other half is not. Company related
Okay.
accounts is not. That doesn't seem like that would ever, like, to me, that is a question that never would have been asked, because an individual person in the company would also probably have their own account. And the only reason why they have a company account is because they're sharing the development
They want to be able to
plan,
build.
like, exactly, building
Right.
together with your team, right? So you typically, as a company, wouldn't use your company account to participate, because you're not going to want to KYC an individual on a company account. You would want to KYC the individual on the individual's account. Accounts are free to make.
Okay. So essentially, you're saying that we got to have that trusted number that it's going to, that trusted accountant and whatnot. If you're going to team up with other people, just be aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not advisable to team up on, like, the missions and stuff like that on a single account.
No,
pretty
but I'm
sure-
saying if you're doing a game jam in the future, and
Oh,
let's
yeah,
say,
yeah.
you know, I want to team up with Half Dork or something like that.
Yeah,
then,
sure.
Definitely
you-
be aware of what you're doing. Don't be
Right. And usually,
do your
like,
own research, guys.
you want to ask your teams how essentially they would do that normally, if they're building together as a team, because usually you're going to have an account, again, that has nothing to do with each individual, that has its own ETH address and all those other things. But
Correct.
let's get on with the next question.
You want to get that video playing as well, as we got
Oh,
questions
yeah.
about the leaderboards going, but there's so much else happening.
I know,
Okay,
it's
so
loud.
along with that, Half Dork does ask, will players be submitting their time run in client or on social media? There is a way to macro an attack jump, for example. Does that mean that we get to prevent such shortcuts in these timed events? That is one of my concerns, as computer assisted is something that can happen. So we can optimize these routes with robots. How are we going to prevent that?
That's a high-level question for our chief technical officer, unfortunately. I would go under the default that the times are not time-stamped based off of videos that get submitted on social media, because once again, you're talking about 2 million individuals that could potentially play in this season, and it's much more likely that the timestamp is going to happen based off of when you load and you start running. Right? And it's not going to wait for you to be fully loaded. It's going to be when you load and you start to hear the music of the game, because the server side is going to say, when did you spawn in it? This is just me using some basic logics to connect some dots here. It doesn't mean that this is the case. And again, I'm not necessarily the best guy to ask about this, but this is just basic logic here. When you load, timer starts. When you leave, or finish all the quests rather, timer stops. That's what I would project. Like, or because they are individually, like, Ethos points are going to relate to a quest. It would be the time you pick up a quest to the time you finish the quest, and those times are now adding up. So with regards to all of the Voxelite that you go pick up around the map, that quest starts before you, like, land, right? Like, you're loading and that quest started. So your timer for the Voxelite would start instantly, and you would need to finish that first. And probably the other quests will start when you grab them. Or the timer is going to continue to run until you finished every quest in the experience. But I think based on some other things I know, it's probably when you pick up a quest and when you finish a quest, that timestamp is stamped, and it goes on. So best answer I could possibly give, but not 100% sure on that.
Alrighty. So while we continue on, there's so many good questions here.
These are good questions. Thank you.
So I do want to skip ahead and get this one out of the way, as the leaderboard is currently on topic. What are these Ethos points again that people were concerned about?
Okay.
Is this,
that's a great
is
question.
This confirmed that that's what EP means?
So Ethos points are an experience point, right? Essentially, it's a rebranding of experience point, but with intention for later use. In previous seasons, you would complete a quest and you would get a certain number of experience points for doing so. I think it was just one, quite frankly, for doing a quest. So rather than call it experience points, where somebody might expect to get 500 or 1,000 or something, you get an Ethos point for completing a task, a quest. Now, if the point of an Ethos point as it was originally designed. Once they got implemented, was that an ambassador or a team member could see that you're running around in the metaverse, you're being very helpful, you're a good person in general while you're playing these experiences, and we could say, good job, here's an ethos point, assuming that it doesn't affect your, you know, it was a for fun, like, thank you, right? But that principle, I don't believe it exists yet, because that was more in line with this idea that we would have these faction competitions for this prize pool, and I haven't seen that yet. So just an idea. It's not a new token, Rockies. Not a new token at all.
Okay, yeah. And as far as if ambassadors themselves, Jesus, if we can pass out ethos points and whatnot, there'd be many easy ways to stop corruption or payouts, you know, to one person.
Mm-hmm.
But as we continue on, there's a lot of good questions today. This is going to be one heck of a season. Alrighty. And Monkey D. Luffy asks, Seb has been posting tweets wearing a t-shirt that has Sandbox on it. Does that mean that he leaked some Sandbox merch?
No, actually it does not. So those shirts, I don't know if you saw, but when we were in NYC, they had custom shirts that were made just for that event. It's very often that we will do that, where for a certain event, if you are there at the event, you can get a merch. When we did NFT NYC, we gave away these jackets to landowners. We had hats. We had all sorts of different stuff. A different jacket that PandaPops has that I don't have. That's really cool. Alex, I think, got one as well. But there was merch for those things. So usually, because they're a special event, of course, Seb's probably going to be at all of those events, and is probably going to own every one of those shirts.
It's true. There's a lot out there that I have seen that I definitely weren't a part of there. The black market Sandbox merch says Ivan. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh man. GSS, there's not a lot on the ethos points being rewarded quite yet, but as we get more information on that one, we'll figure it out as
I think
to announce it for you guys.
Yeah, the important part to note is that, as with all things, like, it's not ideal for you to hyper focus on one thing and say, this is great, this is evil, whatever it is, right? Because it can all change tomorrow. We're in an alpha, meaning that the product is still updating, changing at all times, right? So, candidly, Kristen mentioned that she thought it would be nice to be able to take them away from people, right? Like, okay, that's an idea. That doesn't mean that's going to happen, right? Because, yeah, negative behavior, sure. Like, it's just an idea. Nothing is real, right? It's malleable. It's changeable. We can listen to you in the community and say, do you want to do this at all? Real. Everything's fake. Right? No. We're all making it up as we go along, just like fiat money. No, I'm kidding.
No. There is plans going on here.
There are plans, but also we can change things, is what I'm saying, right? We can adjust things. So to hyper focus on it and think about, like, you know, ethos as being like last season it was experience points. It was the same thing. Nothing changed. We just changed the name. You know what I mean? Oh. And if we can award it later and we can do it correctly, then cool. If it doesn't work out and it doesn't make sense to do, then that idea that we had 6 months ago that I'm telling you about now, that I've told you about before, might get thrown in the garbage.
I hope not, J-Kid. I hope it's not just a good behavior sticker, but we'll see more as we get more information. We're almost there.
Currently, it's your experience point for completing a quest. That's what it is.
Right. You got it. Don't worry. We got you, Jesus. No worries. But I do want to jump ahead to this good point from Zhang Jian Wen over on YouTube.
Okay.
People who want to cheat will always find a way to buy KYC or figure out some way to do that and make burner accounts. As we all know, there are ways around things. We're looking into solutions for that. But the actual question here is, why can I not play for 2 accounts if I have the time? Why can I not work harder than others?
So it's interesting. And I'm going to go back to the tokenomics point that I mentioned earlier.
Right.
There are other play-to-earn games or experiences that exist on the internet. You know them. I'm not going to name them. Some of those play to earn experiences have had no cap/limit on the token that you could earn when you were playing. And what happens as a result of that is that you get people who are really excited about it. They want to get in the ecosystem. They buy the heck out of the token. The token, whoop, shoots up. And as it shoots up, everybody's, oh my gosh, I got to go play that right now, because they're not playing because it's fun. They're playing because they want to earn, right? So they go and they play that game. And then there's so many people playing it that everybody's earning the token. And there's not a constant new exponential growth of humans. There is a limited number of humans. And all of a sudden, the token falls off a cliff and becomes worthless, right?
Gold
and
rush
so
is done.
Yeah, and you don't want to have the Sandbox game Sand token. If you're a holder, if you're a buyer, if you're somebody who's thinking about buying, if you're creating in the ecosystem, if you own a land, you don't want, for all of those people, you do not want to have this token fall off a cliff, because you, among others, me, right? Because Joe went and made 8 accounts and played the heck out of this game and earned a bunch of sand and just dumped it on the market. You don't want that. And you would have that all over the world. You don't want that. And it's bad for you. It's bad for everyone else. It's like 2 people get to have this really high level, like I made a bunch of money and pimp their Lambos or whatever, and then everybody else is screwed. You don't want that.
Right. You get this issue, and of course you'll see it in other games, but the Sandbox already has a solution to this type of thing, whereas we have the VoxEdit and the game creator itself that allows you to start your own kind of work. So if you feel like putting in that 21 hours a day that Mandy Wayward does, then you can do that.
Yeah.
They teamed up with many other companies that are inside the metaverse itself within the Sandbox ecosystem. And you as a creator, that if you want to put in the extra time and you want to get paid for it, then there are companies in the Sandbox themselves that are looking for creators that are dedicated, not just the players themselves.
Yeah.
Because the players, like, there's an ecosystem for that too. But otherwise, if you really want to put in the work and the hours, go build, my friends.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the builders are getting rewarded in lots of different ways, not just in sand tokens for the competitions, right? But like just there's so many partners that need workers, people who know the tools, right? That employment is coming from the Sandbox. So if you're just watching right now and you're talking about play to earn and you want to learn about it, or you're watching later on VOD, I highly encourage you, go watch a stream from Andy Ritchie. Go watch a stream from Cyberdragon, where somewhere, wherever you are in the world, there's usually somebody live from the Sand Fam community, and you're getting real building done, and then you're getting real jobs from it. And these jobs pay you well, because they assume you're from, like, if you're from the Philippines or something like that, where like, or Venezuela, where a dollar is worth a lot more than it is here in the US. I have a friend, a Vietnamese friend, who said, like, if you had $1,000, you could pretty much like live for a very long time in the right areas in Vietnam, right? You can change your life in the Sandbox game ecosystem just by knowing how to build. So go out and do it. Russell Elder says that's what I'm doing right now. So.
Right. I'm about it. So, and of course, we got Soy over here on YouTube asking about any cheeky giveaways before we log off to go to sleep, and that goes along with the question that JKing has been dying to have answered for a second here. I apologize, folks. I do have your questions, but we have 3 full pages rolling here.
I like it.
JKing wants to know, can KYC verified accounts be implemented into the giveaways that we do right here on the live?
Ooh. That would probably take a couple of months. But I think I could get that done. Yeah. That's interesting. That's a really good question. Yeah, let me try to do that.
Okay.
I might get rejected by the web dev team and may go like, that's a waste of my time. But I'll try.
We'll give it a shot. Thanks for asking. But we got giveaways that are happening right now. And still plenty of questions to go.
Okay. I didn't paste the link yet from the giveaway. Let's see. Oh, nope.
I'm with you.
That's a question. Send. Yeah.
Celestial
Click,
Photography wants to know
shorten,
how can we
copy.
KYC right now? And as we speak, at this moment, there is no info on that one. We cannot KYC yet. Go ahead, Joseph.
Okay. Sorry. You're correct. We can't KYC yet. As soon as possible. We don't know the preferred vendor officially. So, don't sign up for a bunch of KYC programs. You don't know who they are yet. Now,
Right.
there's a form out
And what
here
did you
over
just throw?
on YouTube.com, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. Currently, it looks like Facebook is working today for this. And that form allows you a chance to win a Wizzy the Green's Lucky Hat NFT that can be used for the NFT Collector Reward in Alpha Season 3, among other things. You can also use it inside any combat-based experience in Alpha Season 3 and any experience inside the Sandbox Game Maker gallery right now. These rewards are distributed by Alex Florez, who is the artist of the asset and created such things as the Smurfs NFTs, the Care Bears NFTs that you see in the metaverse, and so much more. They are designing these assets for the Wizzyverse, and they will have additional utility in the future through our privately held company, not the Sandbox game, but more details on that as they become available. So many good reasons that you'll want to get one of these, but there's only 22 maybe left of this particular asset.
20 or something?
Maybe
Yep,
20?
Yep.
They're running out. There
We're
was
almost there.
200.
They're running
We're giving
out.
them all away.
Yeah.
We're going to have a Wizzy the Purple's Lucky Hat come up after these are all gone. So look forward to that.
Right. And of course, so I'm going through, we got more questions here. And Gordon Freeman took his time over on YouTube to stop fighting Black Mesa for just a second to ask
Shut them
us
down, open up shop.
if bots have 1,000 accounts and they win an Alpha Pass on just one of them, what prevents them from passing a KYC on that account?
I'm confused.
So if I were to create 1,000 bots to try and win an Alpha Pass, and then I just go ahead and finish the KYC on that, on my main account there.
On the one, you're
on
saying.
the one. Right.
Well, the KYC is going to have an expiration date that would be before the end of the season.
Okay.
Very likely. At least that was the case with the other side land sale that we participated in, Conrad. You remember it was like a week before or something that it closed, and you couldn't submit new ones, but you could get your tickets addressed if you had one that was already submitted. So that's probably going to be the case again, but we'll see as it comes down. Now, to the point of like running a bunch of bots around the metaverse for rewards, an account is still awarded the ability to do sand at the end of the alpha. So you're going to know that you won the pass on that one account like the same day as you can claim the sand. My nose is all itchy. It's super annoying. So you don't have enough time to go do KYC between when you can claim your pass and when you can claim your sand. And you have to have both on the same account.
Right. That makes sense. And yes, it's right now there's no info on how to win these season 3 passes. And for having the season 1 and 2 passes, they are considered just a simple asset right now. That may change. We don't know. We'll bring the information to you soon as we get it, as this stuff is.
Hey!
Wow. Of course, I want to. Yeah, can we see our own ranking on that leaderboard? That would be awesome. As RX78 over there.
Yes.
I'm into it.
Wait.
Can we see that?
Yes, you can.
Are we going to be able to
right
search
here
that?
on
Is
this
that a
trailer?
function?
No, you see right here on this trailer? Right at the bottom? It says you, rank number 250, Carolina. Ethos points 250 is just a plug-in thing, but yes, your own rank will be on there.
I don't know who Carolina is, but they need to step up their
I'm
game.
going to step their game up, Carolina. You only have 250 Ethos points, which is more than Juan in first place with the exact same time. So what the heck is this ordering? But it's funny. The numbers are all fake on the trailers, so that's why we talk about that.
That could be anything.
But really, you will see your own rank.
Who won our giveaway? Woo! You closed that already?
Wait, Soy Boy, don't leave. Wait, no, actually, it's safe for you to leave. I'm sorry. This is sad news. I shouldn't have told you to wait. I'm such a jerk.
Oh, rude.
Over on YouTube.com with the answer for what day is it? Thursday. Thursday? Is it still Thursday? Oh, that must mean you're in North or South America. YouTube's Trevor Fox
Congratulations, Trevor
Fox on YouTube.com. I told you YouTube can win. YouTube's always. I mean, Half Dark even had to make it a meme in their game saying rigged. They were using number 100 out of 121 that I drew. Monkey D. Leffy saying rigged.
Nice.
There it is. I closed it down.
Got some alpacadabras over in the chat.
Oh, get little alpacas. Little alpacas. What's up?
I'm
sorry, Soy Boy. I'm sorry for getting your hopes.
Right.
I felt bad after I said it too.
Come
like,
back.
wait, come back
You
to
lost.
find out. What a jerk.
Don't go anywhere.
Oh,
I have
man.
to rub this in real quick.
I feel so bad. Oh, no. Well.
Okay.
Conrad, we got about 20 more minutes worth of questions to answer, and I know we got 20 minutes worth of questions, so let's go.
Oh, we got it. You wanna hit that video again? So
we're gonna let it. We can just get a little loopy.
We got it. Yes, we need to take away Ethos points from Joseph.
1 demerit, minus 50 DKP.
Oh man, it's too much. And of course, Dr. Metaverse wants to know: will Sandbox have their own KYC or hire a third-party vendor for verification?
We will have a third-party vendor of some kind to do KYC because we want to make sure the experts are doing it. The people who know how to do it without storing your personal information. They exist. So, yes.
We'll figure it out real soon. And Anna, over on Facebook, wants to know, so are there no more contests like posting on Twitter or trying to set up that?
Yeah, there will be contests for posting on Twitter. And then I see a follow-up question from Anna on Facebook as well, asking why is it on the screen for the leaderboards? The top 2 through 10 only say 1,500 rewards. And Anna, just for clarification, the numbers that you see on the leaderboard in this video are just made up intentionally.
Currently.
Because yes, that's right.
Right now.
Yeah, so this is made up to show you that a leaderboard exists, and this is what it will look like. But this is not final numbers at this time, so it's all good. It's all
I hope
good.
the people near the bottom get the highest reward, and that's where I'll be at.
Yeah, the proof of that is that you can see at the very bottom here where it says Carolina, rank 250, but she has 250 ethos points. So Carolina would be first place if the numbers mattered, but these numbers are plugged in numbers so that you can see what a leaderboard might look like. These are not final numbers.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. And of course, the security and of KYCs, are these going to be secure? And as we've kind of discussed a bit about it, we'll be updating you on who exactly we'll be using real soon. And Patio wants to know, so you collect Ethos points, you will not have to 100% complete each experience?
In the previous season, you didn't have to 100% complete all the experiences in order to get, if you had a pass, in order to fill that progress bar. You did not have to do that. So you'll know. One thing, again, as I mentioned, that the numbers don't really matter as you're looking at this. It's just an example of what the UI looks like. You'll see right now, it did this in the previous season as well. There's a number here. It says 80 ethos points, 100 ethos points. But those numbers changed when it went from the trailer to the actual UI, because the numbers are going to change based on testing reports, right? If testers, quality assurance people come back and say, it takes too much to get to level 5 or something like that, then you might see those numbers aren't going to say 100 EP. Maybe they say, because that's assuming, like, again, if I'm going based on Alpha Season 2, you got 1 XP for completing 1 quest previously, I think. Maybe 2 XP, either way. That would, according to that math, be 50 to 100 experience, like, quests that you would have had to have done. There are 90 plus experiences. So again, I think this number is going to be different when you get into that season, but we'll see what's up.
Right. And Mr. Roboto over there on YouTube says, will there be a secret 100% completion reward like previous seasons, or can you not tell us because it's a secret? Blink twice if it's a secret.
I'm neither blinking nor having my eyes open right now. I'm giving you nothing.
I have never blinked in my life.
You get nothing. No, I don't know
how to.
So a note about the 100% completion reward. As I mentioned before, this is an alpha, and we do listen to the community. That completion reward did not exist, from my understanding, in the plan initially. We chose to, about halfway through the season, add that on based on user feedback and among other things, right? That, of course, tokenomically did affect other prize pools, like for game jams and stuff like that. But nonetheless, it was something where we could go, oh, we could move this from here and add this in over here. But it was a predefined pool of total rewards, and a certain number of users hit 100%. And so we took the pool divided by the users who made 100%, and that's how you got to 95 M Sand tokens at the time, or 95 Sand tokens on the Polygon network. So, yeah, that may exist again, but again, it was just something we went, I've decided, and we'll see.
Right, and we have a good question from Michael Mo 1271 over on Twitch. I'm going to be AFK for about 2 weeks, most likely during the 10 weeks of the alpha. Could this affect any of or any limited time game experiences? Am I going to miss out on anything?
You won't miss out on the games because once they are open, they stay open, just like in Season 2. So you're good to go for that, and you'll have an opportunity to go back and play the quests that you missed when you get home if you need them towards your progress or you need to get additional tickets for the raffle stuff. So you're good there.
Right. And here's a good question from Ilse Brian. I did my best with your name there, my friend. Otherwise, they say, can you please tell me how many accounts are we able to have in the same IP address? My family is planning to join the Sandbox, and we are 7 people on the same PC. Okay,
so as many as you want, assuming that each of you can do the KYC method, right? Because the play to earn mechanics require that you have KYC. So all of your 18 plus adults that want to do the know your consumer or know your customer method can send in that. And it's fine because we understand that there are going to be houses with loads of people in them, right? That happens all over the world. Everybody does. I mean, not everybody does that, but every country has those families, right? In abundance where you have big families. And even if you only had one computer for your 7 family members, well, each one of you had verified with a know your consumer, know your customer method. And so, that's okay. It's actually the KYC allows legitimate situations like this to be more obvious, right? So that we're not going out and wrongfully banning accounts that, you go, oh, well, 7 people just, played from the same space or something. That might have looked suspicious before, but with KYC now, it's provably not suspicious.
Right.
The original ultimatum, asking a question immediately, I want to answer, saying, oh, so you need KYC to play the Season 3? And the answer is no, you don't. You can play in Season 3 without KYC. If you're strictly opposed to it and you don't like KYC, feel free to just play. However, the earning mechanisms that are in Season 3, you will need to be KYC'd on. So if you are playing in the Sandbox game because you want to earn and not because you think it's fun, then you're going to need to KYC in order to do that, right? But hopefully, we're making great and fun experiences for you and you're having a good time with the community while you're here. And if that isn't the case, tell us how we can make that the case. We want it to be fun for you.
Right. And A's wants to know, can you elaborate more on completion times on the leaderboard? What do you mean by that? Like finishing that race fastest or?
Yeah, so quests themselves, the individual quests typically have a start and a finish time on your quest, right? So the way that Ethos points were previously earned, or in the last season it was experience points, was when you completed a quest, you had the little thing, right? You would hear it, it'd go clink, right? And you'd see your XP bar go up just a bit. Now they're Ethos points, right? So you start up a quest, you're going to have a start quest time, right? So first loading into the Alpha Hub, a quest starts to collect all the Voxelite. So you're essentially in a race to go collect that Voxelite the fastest on that quest. And then you have the completion time is recorded because it's the last piece of Voxelite you complete. When the quest completes, clink, that is the final timer on that. And then you have other quests in the experience as well that you can pick up. So you pick one up, you go and you race to it. So the reason why that is there is under the assumption that two people have the exact same amount of points. Well, then it's going to come down to how fast can they do the quest.
Okay. Oh man, still trying to catch up with some of these questions. You guys are doing so good. And we do have another question here about Belonging Week. I'll go ahead and skip over it here to Four Buds Lounge. They just asked something relevant to it as well. Will having the memorabilia from last season make a difference? And of course, people want to know about all drops are you. Can you please tell us about the rewards from the last event of Belonging Week? What's going on there? When is this stuff getting passed out, Joseph?
Okay. So Belonging Week is, as with all of these partner programs, managed by the partner first. So you'll want to reach out to the people of crypto on their Discord for details on their distribution. If the distribution is held up for any reason because of, excuse me, something from within the Sandbox game, then they will have the best answer for that. As we get this exponential growth from within, right? We've got literally hundreds of partners and hundreds of staffers. If it was my job specifically to manage all of those individual projects, I would run out of time on one of them, right? So, excuse me, it's best to defer those questions to those people whose projects they are in charge of. And then, excuse me, with regards to the Ethos points, I got to drink something real quick.
No worries.
Or not Ethos points, the memorabilia. We haven't seen yet the news release on the raffle rewards tab. You know what I mean? Like the contest tab. And so when we see something on the contest tab and the details therein, then I can share those details here. So once we have that press release out there that talks about what those rewards can be, then you'll know what the previous Alpha Season 2 completion memorabilia might have as a value to you, etc. Yeah, so that hopefully answers that question.
Okay, and alrighty, we do want to clarify that it seems like right now, having any sort of Sandbox NFT will get you sand in this upcoming event, and then it doesn't seem like the different types of avatars are going to change, or the number of avatars are going to change the amount that you can win there.
That's correct. So, yeah, you'd have, there's a flat pool. If you own 7 doggies, you're going to still have the same flat pool, and that's going to be necessary because, again, you don't want to overly distribute your token when it comes, because we are working from a defined pool of sand that is for the duration of Alpha Season 3, right? So if we gave away 55 sand in this hypothetical example to everybody who owns each individual doggy and each individual World of Women NFT and each individual people of crypto, you know what I mean? It kind of rolls up. But it is a nice reward for those people who do own those avatars nonetheless. So yeah.
And of course, we got to speculate that with this leaderboard, we're going to be able to redo these things and try and get the most EP as possible so we can get up on that leaderboard.
Yeah,
so
well,
I imagine that
so
we are going to be able to, right?
Theoretically, I don't think the Ethos points number is actually going to change. Well, if it works like Alpha Season 2, then the EP, you can't repeat a single quest over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Right? In Alpha Season 2, once you completed a quest, that quest marker became a gray exclamation mark, suggesting that it didn't count towards your XP in the previous season. I imagine that part is the same, but the completion time should be variable. And that's going to be what's the difference between that very top tier of player is just the completion time. I assume that many people who are going for this are going to have completed all of the quests, quite frankly. They're probably going to have played the heck out of the game and had a lot of fun. And I'm assuming that based on, when the Bored Ape Yacht Club, we had an internal game. It was a mobile game, right? And the top prize was a really ugly 2004 Honda Civic or something like that they pimped out to be hideous, or a pinball table or something like that. And those rewards, people just played the heck out of the game, right? People where I was like, how are you even this good? Literally looking at my phone going I'm on level 50. These people are on 250. Y'all are wild. And I expect that's probably going to be the case here. where most of us are going to go like, how are these people such nerds? And like, because one person who had won in that particular contest was like literally 50 levels past everybody else. They were just that much better at the game than, or like they figured out the formula or whatever. So yeah, you'll probably see people make a lot of YouTube trailers out of this or whatever that are like, here's how to beat this level the fastest. And so it'll be interesting to see how the community competes and cooperates in this.
Yeah, there's a whole culture behind it.
Yeah.
So remember to be kind to each other. And I do just want to highlight out here from Pub's culture, Sandbox is amazing, and listen to the community. I am here for the fun and earn, but earn is second for me. As long as it is fun, I'll still be here. You don't have to pay to play. That's enough for me.
Nice.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like having you here. And of course, we got more questions here as we're wrapping up our time. But Mr. Roboto over on YouTube says, so if you are in 1200th place at the end of the season and only 250 people, and 250 people don't KYC and you are moved into the top 1,000 at the end of the season, how does that leaderboard work? So you start at 1200. Do the 250 people in between you and another placement, do they just get booted? Or does that sand reward go nowhere? What are your opinion on that one?
That's interesting. The sand reward can't be claimed by people who don't KYC. But I think that their rank could still exist. That's a really good question, and something that I need to again
get more information on.
Yeah, can you link, or can you put that question in the GMAE show chat for me, Conrad? Sorry.
Oh yeah, I got it. No
worries.
worries.
You can copy paste that one really quickly. But that is a really good question, because quite frankly, if they didn't KYC, I think it's appropriate to remove them from the high scores list because they can't claim, and we have this pool, right? But how much work is that on the back end? Is that system possible to just go like, those users have been removed from the high scores list, and here's your final list, or something like that? And then if so,
dedupe them, Joe.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Right. And my only concern is, as a lot of other people's concerns is going to be, computer assisted runs. And there's going to be ways to be able to see that. It's not very hard. I imagine whoever's doing the leaderboards this time around is going to have a little bit knowledge on how that works. And how to prevent it as well. So I trust in the team. And all right. So Steve Gray over on Facebook and on Twitch wants to know, been really keen to use my created avatar for this next alpha. Yeah. Anyway, how can I do that?
Well, your created asset isn't registered as an avatar. So that's one thing to note. The asset that you have created currently is an asset. If you were to publish it into the, you click like send to the marketplace and that sort of thing, it's not in there as an avatar. Those are specially curated pieces that get uploaded to a different database. And they get minted in a different way as well. Like each piece, if they are like the Aogi project that's coming up, those are like different components that are built all individually, and then they get rolled to say like, okay, this component is in that one, what have you, right? And then those things get put together in a curated way to mint them out. It's from my understanding. So like the stats get rolled essentially, and then they go, okay, I'm going to put this piece on, and they build it. That's right. What I, and then so for you, for the avatar, the only way you could make it an avatar at this time is to have that be curated to be like a partner or something like that. But avatars are coming to the future through the general community. It's just much further off than some of these other updates, like swimming or something like that. That's pretty much right around the corner, or a new lighting engine right around the corner.
Okay, and we do want to know, here we go, from Mine Mealf. I hope I said your name.
Wow.
Right. Over on YouTube. Can I play without KYC? And if I win a pass, I will just have to confirm the KYC? Do I have to do it beforehand?
You would probably have to do it beforehand, but I don't have the full terms on the KYC yet, as we haven't officially announced our vendor. But if it is like other vendors, then you would need to be KYC'd in order to be eligible. However, the big notes on KYC from these external companies are that your information is not stored permanently. Once your information is verified, they delete your information and just give you a serial number, essentially, that's associated with who you are, right? So if you KYC'd, then you're good for the future of all types of earnings in the Sandbox game. And you don't have to worry about doing it for every alpha or something. It'll just always be associated with your ETH address. Yes, you are KYC verified, right? So you should be good.
Right. And as we've gotten so many questions tonight, I wish we could answer every single last one. But as we're coming to the end of our time, we unfortunately didn't get to play your guys' games today. But if you have games that you want us to play in the future as we decide to break your games, try and figure out what makes them tick, and then also tell you what you can do to improve them in the future, because there is always a future, my friends. I say it every live, but your depression can be beat. No matter what you're going through, can be beat. You're going to be fantastic tomorrow, and I'm right here with you. And so is TheVisionEx. Joseph, play us away, my friend.
Oh
yeah. And
Conrad.
Don't forget, guys, you can always find us on the Twitter.
That's right.
I'm at RadConDad, and that is, once again, TheVisionEx.
Woo-wee! Now we're going to go try to find somebody to raid over on Twitch.tv as we start to close up. Chat, who's playing right now? Voxel Blaze looks like they are creating NFT giveaway and Friday game player
Joseph.
stream. Yes, sir.
Silent Disco again.
Silent Disco again.
I can hear it. Yeah, I can't hear it. There
Silent
we go.
Disco, baby! Silent Disco, baby! Alright, I like it. Alright, so we're going to be rating Voxel Blaze. If you'd like to join us and you're watching over on youtube.com, twitch.tv/Voxel, VoxelBlaze. Alright, let's get that raid going. Whoop. The raid has been created. We're bringing 77 people. So come on over from Twitter, come on over from DLive, Theta, Facebook, YouTube.
We got
Come
you.
hang out with us. That's right.
And don't forget, if you didn't get your questions answered today,
Back
do
tomorrow.
plenty more shows.
That's right. Tomorrow. We're back Saturday. We got 2 shows on Saturdays as well. We got you. Come back, ask the questions. We'll try to get them answered. And hopefully tomorrow we're playing some games while we're answering those questions. In fact, I'm going to guarantee it. All right. See you later, Twitch. There we go. They got sent off before I even said see you later. YouTube, that's so wild. I'll see you guys tomorrow.